If I told you right now, take a selfie, you saw you. If I told you create a video, you saw you. So whatever you think about you is projected in the content. What you see on your social media page is what you see in yourself. This is why I say you can't build a business bigger than you build yourself. I'm comfortable in my skin. What to post so we can remind them. And here are the 4 steps. Number 1, planning our content. Number 2, creating our content. Number 3, posting our content. And number 4, monetizing our content. Working hard at something, what does that mean? We work for free for social media. If you don't send people away from the platform, you don't get paid. So creating content, mapping out content, planning content, you're working for free, trying to get people to compensate you. If you're watching this video, you're about to make a whole lot of money. And what 4 things do you do? Like when we're trying to answer this one question, what to post, put it on the screen for me, editing team, what to post so we can remind them. And here are the 4 steps. Give me my own screen note right here. Number 1, planning our content. Number 2, creating our content. Number 3, posting our content. And number 4, monetizing our content. Let's rewind and give it to them one more time. When we're asking what to post, is 4 steps to this to create viral content. Planning our content. Number 2, creating our content. Number 3, posting our content. Number 4, monetizing it. I'm trying to tell you, we cooking. So let's get into the creation of content. So if planning started with a question, we just asked, what do I want? As a business owner, as a service provider, as a course creator, as a however you identify, you made the decision as a business owner, this is what I want. I want leads, I want this, I want that. You can list all the things you want, but you can't get it all in one post, right? This is the reason why we diversify our content. Now, creating the content is a little different because for some people, that's the hardest part. Looking at a camera, that's not my hard part, right? Like we do this with no edits, no nothing, just let it rip. Like I'm comfortable in my skin. Now I'm about to say something about creating content you might think has nothing to do with content, but it has all to do with it. I say this so often that I hope the whole world understands it. You cannot build a business bigger than you build yourself. That's my quote. Don't be out here in this internet street stealing my stuff now. You can't build a business bigger than you build yourself. What do I mean by that? When you're building a large following, it sits on top of who you are. When we talk about who you are in terms of your self-confidence, your self-awareness, your skill, your ability, when we're talking about how you sell, how you market, your productivity, your inconsistency, your decisiveness or indecisiveness, everything in your business sits on top of that, right? So as you're building your brand, your business, your bank account, and creating content, you're also building yourself. So when we start talking about creating better content, a large part of that comes with creating higher levels of confidence in ourselves. Because when you're creating, you might start saying, is that right? The more questions and doubt you have, the more unclear you are when you're projecting the content out to the world. So now you find yourself stumbling over words and things of that nature, not because you're not a good communicator, right? I think you're great. It might just be that you're not clear because you might consume so much content. All of us watch podcasts. We all watch videos, listen to audio. I'll use a name as a prototype or case study, it's not negative. I like his content. Let's say Hormozy. I really think he does a phenomenal job. If you consume so much of Hormozy's content, when you get ready to record, that's who you hear and see. So you'll start saying, is this right? Or doubting yourself because you're gauging you by him. That's an unfair standard. Because you're not him, you don't teach like him, you don't market like him, it's not for the same audience, as well as you definitely don't want to compare if you're the one editing your own videos to somebody who got a whole team that edits for them. Yeah, my videos don't look good, they do. They just don't look like a person who pays 6 figures in salaries for an editing team because you don't have it. Content creation, fam, I told you it's hard to get people to get this. Content creation literally is, if I told you right now, take a selfie, you saw you. If I told you create a video, you saw you. So whatever you think about you is projected in the content. What you see on your social media page is what you see in yourself. This is why I say you can't build a business bigger than you build yourself. I'm comfortable in my skin, family. There ain't nothing on this iPad. So if I turn it this way and just start teaching, how can I do this and just flow? Because I'm clear in my head. And the clearer I am in my head, the more comfortable I am in my skin, the more clear and more competent I am in the content. So if you say, man, I love the way he teaches, you know what I'm doing? It's just me. It's me talking to me. So what is content? A mirror of how you see yourself. So I believe if you want to get better with content, you have to get more comfortable in your skin and more confident within yourself. Your self-talk, your self-awareness. I know that's different from what you thought I was going to tell you. But what I'm saying, if you go live, you see people's comments, but you see your face. If you film a podcast, you see you on camera. You create content, you see you. You do a challenge. I would even say if you do a Zoom, because boy, they will black screen you to death out here, won't they? You're like 200 people on screen, all black screens. The only person you see is yourself. You're like, does that make sense for y'all? Type in the chat if it makes sense. You're like, bro, I'm finna hop off and hop on IG Live. I'm not finna, okay. You should quit working for free. How did social media hire all of us to be their workforce? We're on the app posting videos, going live, creating reels. We do not get paid when we create content on social media. They do, by selling our content to advertisers. But how do you actually build an online business using social media? I want to break it down for you and give you access to it. There's 5 simple steps. I'll tell it to you in a few seconds. Step number 1 is client attraction. I'm going to show you how to actually attract clients that will happily pay you what you're offering. Step number 2, how to capture them. How do you get their emails? How do you get their phone numbers? How do you get them to show up to your event? Be on your Zoom calls. To what I refer to as client dating. It's where you nurture a relationship with people to get them to say yes to whatever you're offering. And I'm even going to show you what type of content to create that gives you brand visibility and brand recognition. I call it content to cash flow. You get access wherever you're watching this video. You'll see it in the description and you'll see it beneath this. Let's get back to the episode. But let me give you more practical as it relates to content creating. Here's a very simple framework. Let's go back to the board. All right. What I like to tell people in a very simple way, when you're creating content, try this formula. Let me go over here, try hook. So this is under creating. Hook, strategy, and number 3, call to action. Hook, strategy, call to action. We refer to this as HSC. I teach this in my content to cash flow mentorship. When you're creating hook, strategy, call to action, it simplifies the content because people's attention span is so short. So now it sounds something like this. Like this, let's say we were creating content for social media using this YouTube, right? We say, if you're asking yourself, what should you post to create viral content that gets you clients, followers, and cash in the bank? Here's what you should do. Saw what just happened? That was the hook. And then here's what you should do is the transition. And then I teach you exactly what to do. That's the strategy. And then I give you a call to action. So if you want to learn more things like this, where I coach you every Monday, showing you how to do it, a support call, give you a live portal, as well as access to an in-person conference, comment the word content now to get access to content to cash flow mentorship. See what just happened? I did hook, strategy, call to action. So if you master this, it gives you now I'm not saying you got to sell on every post. It just gives you a cleaner way to present the content because the person knows what to listen for. The hook is the thing they have a desire for. So you're saying, if you want to learn how to plan out your content in less than 10 minutes, that's the hook. Teach them how to do it. That's the strategy. Give them a call to action. That's the way that you're now getting them to do what the first one, the planning, what you want. See how this all come together? What you want, you tell them to do in the call to action. So it's give and take. That's simple enough. That makes sense for you, right? You can follow that. Nod your head. Now, why your crazy self nodding your head like I can see you? All right. So we talked about planning the content, creating the content. Now let's get into posting the content. People ask all the time, if I'm doing YouTube, should I post long form? Should I post short form? If I'm doing Instagram, should it be a post, a carousel? Should it be a story? Or should it be a regular post? If I'm doing Facebook or TikTok, right? Or any of these, what should it be? All of them. Every last one of them. Why? People consume information in very different ways. So you want as many ways as possible. Some of us like to read, so we will watch longer. Some of us like to watch. Give me every way possible to consume what it is that you have so I can take part in it. So from a posting standpoint, I really like to tell people, make sure you're hitting multiple times a day. Some of us, let's say like me, I don't check my phone for the first hour, hour and a half of my day. So if you post first thing in the morning, unless the algorithm's ever in your favor, you miss me. But I mean, you got to hit me again in the afternoon and hit me again in the evening. You want to hit me more than once in order for that to happen. So if you know you're doing a post to generate clients or leads, give me that twice a day. Give me morning and evening so you can make sure that you're capturing people. Give it to me on your story and give it to me on your feed. Because on your story, people who are already following you can see it. On your feed, you can reach more people and reels, and now it could trend and be on people's Explorer page. Your stories is not on nobody's Explorer page. Okay? So we talked about planning the content. We talked about posting the content. We talked about creating the content. We talked about posting. I suggest 2 to 3 times a day. If we're going YouTube shorts, I like shorts at least 3 times a day, and I like to spread them out. So I'll just tell you our posting schedule. We go morning, afternoon, evening is the way we're doing it right now. We try to hit you 3 parts of the day, right? So what's morning for us? 8 to 12, what's afternoon for us? 12 to 4, what's evening for us? 4 to 8. So we just broke them up into 4-hour blocks, and that's normally our schedule. Do we do later posts? Yeah, we do. But that's our main course of action, all right? Now, last but certainly not least, we talked about planning. I keep recapping so you get that I'm keeping my word now. So now let's get into, we just went into posting the content. So you got that 3 times a day. You're like, Marcus, I can't do that. Schedule it, fam, but give me at least 2 times. Where should it go? Everywhere. Everywhere that people are, that they can buy from you, learn about you, to become a part of your business. Everywhere. And now, let's move over to monetizing the content. Monetizing the content. Biggest mistake I see people make as it relates to monetizing their content is they typically don't have a system of thought surrounding when someone consumes your content, where do they go next? So I'm always thinking about, if they see this, they're going to do what? If you notice, I'm always talking to you as an entrepreneur and as a CEO and as a business owner, and I'm telling you, your content is a part of your marketing strategy or your marketing department. So I keep challenging you to think through, bro, sis, family, do you think Apple creates a campaign and say, this is where we're going to put it in a magazine, here's going to be our commercial, and they don't think about what they want from the commercial? Do you think any company creates a marketing campaign, let's say over the Christmas break, when Macy's does a sale? Hey, we got to film. So Macy's, listen to this, is filming a commercial, which is their content. And they say, hey, I need the video production team. There's people who's writing the script. What was Macy's doing when they did it? They were planning it. You get it. They were planning it. They were creating it. And then when the commercial run, they're posting it. But on the back end, they are monetizing it. Family, maybe y'all don't know me like that. All I do is study what billion-dollar companies are doing, and I teach them to everyday entrepreneurs so you can do the same thing. Why? Because they spend billions of dollars on their team, so why not copy what they do? Don't copy your favorite influencer. Copy corporations. So corporations do this. Apple, Macy's. Come on, who else during the holidays or any other time can you see this marketing like crazy? I mean, you name it. McDonald's definitely does it. McDonald's definitely does it. So what they sit with in advance is, here's what it might sound like, and I'm just saying monetize. It might sound like, hey, Bob, so for Q4 for Black Friday, what do we have in mind in terms of advertisement? You hear it. You got Bob from advertisement from Martin Party. Okay, my man. But Bob is going to say, well, I was thinking, with things being kind of tight in terms of people spending more on groceries, gas prices being up, what if we ran a sale that talked about saving money on cooking where now it's actually, what if we ran a campaign that says it's cheaper to eat out? That's going to be the theme of it. That's really good. And we can run a deal for families to be able to subsidize it and blah, blah, blah. They think through all this stuff. What is that? The planning. Then they go into creating. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and get with the media department and start mapping out a lookbook. Remember, what do I want? Mapping out a lookbook to start creating it. They create the campaign and they think about how they're going to monetize it to get people during the holidays to spend there. Monetization happens when all the pieces come together. So how does this relate to you? How are you going to do this? I would suggest being patient with what you do and saying, okay, if I'm creating content, I need somewhere for them to go and actually buy from me. They're not pressing a button and buying right on social media. So let's just say you setting up a landing page or you setting up in your mini chat, MANY chat, right? It's an automated system that is connected to social media. Super easy to set up and they already have pre-templates. You setting that up with keywords. So you're writing it out and say, okay, I'm gonna do the keyword content. I'm gonna do the keyword this, keyword this, keyword this. That's a part of your monetization to say, when this content goes out, this is what they'll do in order to come in and work with me. If you're looking at your calendar and saying, okay, I know I'm not available the last week of Christmas. So you already know if you've taken off that week, part of your monetization is pushing traffic for those days. All I'm asking you to do, fam, is lean into the process of making sure that you've thought through these 4 steps. Because I believe that you ought to be prepared for what you're praying for. Woo, tap your neighbor. All right, too churchy. All right, no problem. No problem. But I do believe that. I do believe that we should always be a part of the answer of our own prayer. Okay, we gotta go Bible. Y'all know your boy. If you like making money online and you like Jesus, I'm your man. Some of you are like, well, I don't fool with Jesus. That's cool. I still love you, cousin, but that's who I love. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go real quick so you can get this. And here's my motivational moment before we end this. When I read in Scripture, I'm a Bible reader, and I read in Scripture that there was a guy by the name of Moses, and the children of Israel are praying to be delivered from a system where they're working but not being compensated for their work. Maybe you're catching the parallel. Working hard at something, what does that mean? We work for free for social media. If you don't send people away from the platform, you don't get paid. So creating content, mapping out content, planning content, you're working for free, trying to get people to compensate you until you can move into a monetization plan. Okay, you get the parallel now. They are working for free, trying to be compensated, and they cry out that they would be delivered from a system or an algorithm, delivered from a system where they continue to work for free, using their talent, their skill, their energy, but not being compensated for it. Moses didn't come deliver to people. You know the story. You graduated Sunday school. You was bad. They sent you to sit with your mama at least twice. And Sister Irma made you spit your gum out in her hand. Spit it out. Okay? But he get to the Red Sea, and he cries out. He start crying, Jesus, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, like we do. Man, I want to go viral. I want to make more money. Man, I want to be able to take care of my family. God says something so dope in the Scriptures. He said, why are you crying out to me? Or in essence, why are you praying to me? He tells them, stretch out your staff. What is that? Take the talent or the thing that you have to answer your own prayer. I'm simply saying to you, you have the ability, you have the talent, but are you prepared for what you're praying for? Because you can be the answer to your own prayer by being intentional. And when we are lazy and we lack the ability to sit and plan out, like right now, I just mapped out to you a 4-step process that I told you I teach this inside of my program where people pay me, but you get it for free. Are you willing to pause this, spend 20 minutes and work this plan and let me know how it worked for you? If not, family, I don't want you to still keep crying out about something that is not working. Okay, I hope I didn't offend you, cousins. But I love you. I love you too much to lie to you, so I got to be honest. The plan will work if you work it. So this, family, answers the question, what should you post? You should post and create viral content that gets you clients after you walk through this 4-step process of planning the content by asking, what do I want? By actually creating the content using hook strategy call to action, posting the content 2 to 3 times a day, and monetizing the content by making sure you have somewhere to lead them that they can buy from you or learn about you from the content. This has been another wonderful episode of Monetize with Marcus. I've answered the question for you. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to subscribe. Yo, I need you to ask me more questions so I can answer them for you in the episodes. And if you need me, you know where to find me, cousin. Number 1, follow me on social media. But number 2, you know where to find me. I'll be over here minding my online business. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.